Hello and welcome to Rings Check. I'm Barry and today we are going to be playing through the Ring Goes South, the fourth full scenario in the Lord of the Rings LCG saga. Before we do that, let me talk you through the deck that I'll be using a little bit. Now, I've had a bit of difficulty beating this quest consistently. Tried a reasonable number of different heroes, all from the Fellowship, so all the characters you might be mostly familiar with: Aragorn, Legolas, Pippin, Boromir, Gandalf, Gimli, Merry and Sam, the 9 main characters of the Fellowship. I didn't want to do just hobbits again, so that was kind of out to begin with. Then I tried different people in different slots, but ended up with this breakdown. Primarily I wanted a lore hero, and even Aragorn lore's not wasn't really cutting it for me in terms of what it needed to do there, but this is what I've ended up with, and in part that's thanks to a B-Gamer Joe's deck, which kind of inspired a lot of this one, so you can check that out on the Rings DB if you want to see what he used to get through it. Now, this is a deck that has a lot of fairly high cost allies. Boromir costs 4, Gandalf costs 5, Gimli costs 4, and then Merry and Sam are a bit more reasonable at 2 and 1 cost, because we'll have Frodo Baggins out. But since we're playing all of these guys anyway, thematically, went for the Fellowship contract. Now, you're not going to get a massive bonus out of this Fellowship contract because I'm not playing permanent Gandalf, but maybe for the turn that he comes in, you can get a little bit of a boost from him. Makes the sneak attack Gandalf that little bit better, as it boosts all your other characters whilst he's in play. For this you have to have 9 unique characters, or non-unique allies, or only unique allies I should say, which we have, so that's fine. Did consider putting in something like Bill the Pony, but I figured I'd just stick with the main 9 and hope for the best there, really. So it does mean that Fellowship's not it's not something that we can rely on, because we'll probably not even see all the allies by the time it's the end of the quest. Excuse me. The core part of the quest has quite a lot of fighting and quite a lot of questing. You want to be questing through locations almost the turn they come out if you can, but you're going to be interrupted by a number of fights during it. So we need people that can hit, people that can attack, people that can quest, and Aragorn does that. Not only is his stat line great, but after he quests you can stand them back up natively by spending a resource if you have it. Legolas lets you put progress on quests and active locations when you kill an enemy, so he's doing kind of double work there. And Pippin, just because with these two kind of locked in, there's no other good green heroes. Not that Pippin's not good, but you're going to need card draw as well. You're going to run out of cards, more than likely, that you want to play also. So looking at the other things in here, we've got the thematic, you have my sword and my bow and my axe. Right, so that's just in there. They're not probably the best weapons you might want to use, so you can consider swapping them out. Warrior sword's fine, because you will end up with probably a couple of enemies engaged with you at some point. But the bow of the Galadrim is okay, but you're never going to be attacking somebody else because we're playing solo. And Dwarrowed Elf axe is also okay, but your 1 damage to the defending enemy is rarely going to finish it off. There's a lot of relatively high health enemies in this one. What we want to be doing as well is getting allies into play as quickly as possible, and to that end we have Elfstone from the previous scenario. So on the active location gets 1 quest point, but when it's explored you get to put an ally into play from your hand, so you're trading a 1 cost card for a 4 cost Boromir, for example. Then We also have sneak attack. Now sneak attack's primarily for Gandalf, but if we can, in times of desperate need, if we need to sneak attack out an ally to defend a hit or take out an enemy, can be done. And then because everything's quite costly, tighten our belts. If you don't play anything, particularly turn 1, you'll get to ramp your resources, and there can be other turns where you're not playing anything in a turn, because everything is quite expensive, so resource ramp is also useful. Then bits and pieces, you want to be heavy questing, so Celebrian Stone, put that on Aragorn, which gives him the spirit resource, which then means you can play Sam Gamgee normally for 1. Similar, if you don't get that, though, Song of Travel's in there as a backup for getting a spirit icon on somebody else. I did consider putting more spirit cards in, but wasn't really worth it. Then we also have the sword that was broken, so that goes on Aragorn as well. And then each character you control gets +1 willpower, so that again helps very much with the questing. Let me take a sip of my coffee. Then Fellowship of the Ring on Frodo, each hero gets +1 willpower, and characters aren't generally going to be getting destroyed. You might have to discard some allies, but they shouldn't really be getting killed. And then because you're also kind of locked into a fixed set of cards here, Dunedain Pipe, if you get it, lets you kind of cycle through your cards a little better. And everything else is mostly comparable to other things that we've used in the past. Here, one thing to consider, Boromir, after he takes any amount of damage, ready him. So he's quite a good defender against high threat enemies, and he's quite a good attacker. So giving him extra hit points and extra defense and things like that's pretty good. So Raiment of War on him gives him those extra hit points, as well as Vigilant Guard. So if somebody else has to defend a second attack, say, you can put one of that damage on Boromir, stand him back up. And whilst this is limit 1, it is not restricted, so it doesn't interfere with Raiment of War. And then Heed the Dreams, a thematic draw card, but it's not brilliant in single player. You might have the resources to get a second card out of it, but it's quite expensive for what it is. So I've put in Lorien's Wealth, which isn't as thematic, but lets me draw 3 cards. A more thematic card would be Peace and Thoughtfulness, or exhaust 2 allies to draw 5 cards, but this quest is probably too fast to allow you to exhaust those two allies. So that's the basics of the deck. I've not actually loaded the game up yet, so let's start with that. Load a deck. I also wish to load a quest. So we're doing the Ring Goes South, just normal. Not a masochist, and we'll talk through kind of the setup here, but let's go through the story just after I get another sip of coffee. One of these days I'll edit my videos, but today is not that day. Right, the Ring Goes South. At the end of a tiring journey, Frodo and the Ring were nearly captured by the Nazgul, who pursued him from the Shire all the way to the borders of Rivendell. But at the ford of the Bruinen, the Lord of Rivendell caused the River Loudwater to flood, and the servants of Sauron were swept away. Afterwards, the wound Frodo received at Weathertop was treated, and he and his companions were given a long respite in the House of Elrond. Yet the threat of Mordor still remained, and the Dark Lord's power continued to grow, and the question of what to do with the One Ring had to be addressed. So the Council of Elrond was summoned, and the fate of Middle-earth was long debated. In the end, it was decided that the only hope for the enemies of Sauron were to send the One Ring back to Mordor, to the Mountain of Fire where it was forged. Only there, at the cracks of doom, could the ring be unmade, and Dark Lord's power destroyed. Frodo Baggins of the Shire was chosen to carry out this task, and Elrond appointed companions to accompany him on his quest. So it was that on a cold morning near the end of December, the Fellowship of the Ring departed Rivendell and began their perilous journey south along the western edge of the Misty Mountains. So that is the story. This is the quest. Let's finish getting set up. So we have Fellowship Fighter, utility, card drawer. And we get Frodo. And then let's have a look at our sideboard. So Mr. Underhill goes here. Now Gandalf's delay been playing wrong this whole time. This has been errated. So from each player draws one fewer card in his starting hand, should be that you don't draw for the first turn. So functionally the same, but it does make your mulligans a little bit better. You're going to go into the encounter deck. Old Bogey Stories can go on Pippin. You're going to go into my hand once I'm finished the setup. But Tireless Ranger cannot be played on anybody. Any boon with a permanent keyword has to have a hero chosen at the time, and the hero chosen was Sam. And because I'm not using Sam as a hero, I don't get to utilise this card. So, sad as that is. Let's have a look at any other setup. So we get the story again on the cards. In the House of Elrond, the evil wound that Frodo received on Weathertop is healed, and he's reunited with his uncle Bilbo. But the One Ring cannot remain hidden in Rivendell for long, so Lord Elrond summons a council to decide what should be done to protect the free peoples of Middle-earth. So we've done the kind of rest of that setup. Does it for you. On here, each player may change hero cards, so that's what we've done. Normally when you change hero cards in the middle of a campaign, you start with a threat penalty. Here we get one of these boons to add to our hand. I'm going to choose Anduro. Again, we're just looking for those stat excuse me, looking for the stat boosts on questing in particular, but in particular Aragorn. These get put into the deck. I'll just drag them on top because I'll have to shuffle it back in anyway. This we don't worry about 100% now. And then the ability on the card here. At the end of the planning phase, each player places the top card of his deck face up. Basically, I'm going to reveal dearie me. I'm going to reveal 4 cards. One I'll get to put to my hand, one I'll get to put in play, one I'll have to discard, and one I'll get shuffled back into my deck. So this is a pretty strong start. If I can get cards that are useful. A lot of these things I kind of want to be able to play kind of turn 1. So let me consider mulliganing. And if I get any of the thingy cards, I'll just put them back. So this is a mulligan, so this is what I'm stuck with, if nothing else. And then you go to hand, you go to hand. Oops, not in the counter phase quite yet, planning. So then we're going to start the round and set off. So I don't get this, which is sad, because that would have been a really good one to begin with. This isn't in play. So I'm actually not going to play anything for my starting round, which is what it is. Oh wait, I only moved that in, didn't I? Shuffle. And so end of the planning phase, I now get 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ooh, a lot of low cost things. So let's take the sword that was broken as the one to put into play. Not only does that boost our questing quite significantly, but it also saves us on resources. Excuse me. The pipe at the moment is not... It's a nice to have, right, for cycling through cards that are duplicates that you can't play, but I don't think I need it at the moment. So I'll put you away. I'll put the axe to... Well, I'll put the axe back in the deck because I don't have Gimli yet, so... and I'll put Heed the Dream into hand to let me draw something specific a little later. So that is the start there. Dearie me. I should perhaps have yodeled this morning before starting this. So then I must either shuffle Lust of Ring into the encounter deck or raise my threat by 5. Raising my threat by 5 is pretty grim, right? I start much higher, of course, than with my Hobbit deck, although it is quite reasonable compared to some other hero combinations you might go with. But I can also get rid of it before the end, so Athlas would let me heal Aragorn should it matter. So I'm just going to shuffle that into the encounter deck, and then we will advance. So the 9 walkers, the ring goes south. The council decides the One Ring must be cast into Mount Doom. Frodo has appointed 8 companions to help him complete this quest, and the Company of the Ring sets out from Rivendell into Hollin on their way to Mordor. So make Redhorn Pass the active location, already is, and then I need to reveal cards until I have 2 threats worth of card. Eregion. Okay. Hollin is no longer wholesome for us, it's being watched. So being watched by the crows, the Crebain. And here's the sort of main mechanism of the scenario, placing damage on active locations. Now every location is going to have a forced effect when it's explored, or most of the locations are going to have a forced effect when it's explored, where something bad happens based on the amount of damage on that location. So here, for example, I'll have to assign damage. I don't want to do that, so I want to clear every location as quickly as possible. Eregions discard allies. Don't want to do that either. So before playing any allies, I want to clear Eregion. So here we're going to go questing, and I'm just going to send everybody because I'm also not in any fit state for fighting. So succeeding by 8 as long as 2 or less comes up. Oh dear, so this immediately came up. Attached to, yep, okay. So after the 1 ring exhausts, raise threat by 1 and reduce Aragorn's questing to 0. So basically that just means I'm never going to use new Frodo's ability, I didn't cover that either, where to spend a resource to prevent damage from an attack. But at the moment it does nothing because the ring is not exhausted. So win by 8, or I quest for 8, which means that goes away for 6, and we get 2 more, or 2 progress on the main quest. Then you must travel, that's another thing. So if I can, I must. I would anyway, but that is important. So then we go into a new round. So here we can make... Now I've got to decide whether I want to start spending money or not. I think I will. So I spend 1 for Elfstone on Eregion. Because once that's gone, there is a second one in the deck, or at least the second one. I'll be able to play Boromir out, which is very nice. I better keep 1 resource for Feint, but let's make Legolas a little tougher, so that gets on 1 attack. I would like to play this, but it's a little expensive at the moment. But I suppose 1. No, I think that's a next turn play. Although I do want to clear this, but I should be alright. I did 8 last time, I should be able to do 4. Yeah, let's leave it there. And we will quest. What do we get? That's Surge, because there's no wargs. Each player must choose and discard each ally he controls, or raises threat by 1 for each ally he controls. Excellent, 0 allies at the moment. So allies are punished in this as well, which is why it's better having a few bigger ones. But I will choose, well I can't choose either because nothing does anything, but there's no surge effect on that. So I succeed by 11, that's actually going to power me through a lot faster than I perhaps wanted. But 5 goes onto here. Because I remember it's +1 because of the Elfstone. So 5 goes onto there, which lets me play Boromir, and then 6 goes onto here, which is enough to clear it. Let's just go through the motions. Disgusting. So after getting, after turning down from Redhorn Pass, we get attacked by wolves as we decide to go to Moria. And suddenly Aragorn leapt to his feet. "How the wind howls," he cried. "It's howling with wolf voices. The wargs have come west of the mountains." So I must go find the warg chief. Here he is. And add it to the staging area. I don't yet have to engage it, but it will not be long until I must. Here I could of course feint it, but I would not be able to do any damage to him this turn, so let's just get prepared for attacking him next turn. So it's fine, we'll flip this. And after a location enters play, now it gets 1 damage on it. And after an enemy engages a player, it get 1 on the active location. So, well, here we go. Here we go. So, really, so that's restricted. This is restricted. That would be. So let's make that Legolas's 2. And I need to remember that I'll get a second enemy when I engage the Warg Chief. I need to save that for fainting. I should go fish. So I will look at the top 5 cards and choose one. So Gandalf would not be bad, however, I can't afford him. And at the moment you're doing, oh, I didn't put your stats up. So at the moment you're doing 5 and I need 9. So I should perhaps take another. You're not restricted. You're very expensive, but I do want to put you on Boromir. I think I just take the sword, or do I take the hitch? I think I take the hitch, and that'll let me do a reasonable amount of attacking and defending. I don't want to. I don't want to use Frodo as a defender. No, let me take this. Let me take that. Oh no, I've ruined it. Where's it gone? So we'll just close and shuffle that, and then I'll go fetch that sword again. Here we go. Close and shuffle. Excuse me. Wow, that's probably loud for you guys. Right, so, and what else do I want to play? There's nothing else I want to play in green, so I can spend 1, 2, 3 for this. So it's going to let me bump up my... did I spend 3? Yeah, I took it from Frodo. What if I took 1 from here and left Frodo 1? So it's going to up my stats, 5, 6, 7. I've still got Faint. I could play this, it would draw me 2 cards at this point. I'll get a big quest. I don't actually want a quest through this quite as quickly as I have been, so maybe I'll leave it there. So we quest. So I'm succeeding by 6. I spend the 1 to restand Aragorn after he commits to a quest, and we reveal. So a region, so when it comes out it gets a thingy. Ah no, I'm going to have to discard Boromir, but I suppose that's is what it is. But I get 3 progress, and this will go here, because I must travel if able. Then I will... I could faint both, but I wouldn't be able to kill both this turn. I suppose Boromir should get a chance to stand back up as long as I get a fairly piddly enemy. Right, so I engage you, which puts 1 threat here. Then because it's a higher engagement cost, I get to draw a card. Then after it engages, discard cards from the encounter deck, discard until enemy. Disgusting. So luckily it doesn't surge, but that is definitely higher than my encounter. So now I've got sneak attack. So that might have been useful for Gandalf, but let's not worry. So combat time, we will... That's a bit... The music's a bit jovial for what's actually going on. So both of these are big hitters. Regardless, I think I'll spend 1 to faint the Warg Chief. So that just goes away. And then I'll block with Boromir. So he's defending for 3 against an attack of 4. And there's no undefended. Oh, but I did engage you, so I suppose I should also have another one there. So there's no undefended shadow effect. But I do get hit for 1. And when Boromir gets hit, he stands back up. So now I need to think about how I'm going to assign my damage. I could have just defended with Aragorn against this and exhausted this to kill him, which is what I should have done. But anyway, we're standing up now. So 4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So that's enough to take out the Warg Chief, which is what I will do. So attack for 9, kills this, places 2 progress on the quest, or on the location, because whilst Legolas says put 2 progress on the current quest, locations are like an interrupt to take the damage first. And then I might as well attack with Boromir for 3, even though it's not going to kill it. Would be great to have another way of standing up, but I do not, as it happens. Having the sword down on Boromir would have been handy dandy as well. I mean, I could kill him. I could sneak attack Sam in to kill this, but that seems like a waste. I think I'll wait until I get Gandalf or similar. Cool. So I think most characters spent money last time, so I'm not going to tighten our belts. I will hold fire though. I've got a board set up okay. I know that Boromir's going away, but I definitely don't want to play any more allies this turn or put anything on Boromir. So I'll leave it as is and get some more resources for next time. So all I need to really do is defend with Aragorn against this, so he can quest. I can spend 1 to stand back up. You're going anyway, so you might as well quest. And I will leave Legolas standing and see a card. So Roland's House, fine. So succeed by 9. So there, starts with a thingy on it. Succeed by 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You go, which means I have to discard you, and then I must travel here. So raise my threat by 1 for each damage. That's not so bad. Then we will defend with Aragorn against this beastie. So he's hitting for 4. I'm defending for 3. Nothing. And then I will not nothing. No additional damage, but he does get through for 1. And then after an attack in which the hero defends, exhaust this to declare him as an attacker. Actually, I will not bother with that, because if I kill him with Legolas, I get 2 progress on here. So very good, very nice. So during the refresh phase, I'm going to play Tighten Our Belts, and everybody's going to get 1 additional resource, and then into a new round. So things are going okay, but they get a little bit worse once we get through this quest. Just drinking my coffee. Once we get through this stage of the quest, I should say. Right, so what am I going to do with all that money? Well, first things first, Athelas is here specifically to deal with Lust for the Ring. If Lust for the Ring's attached at the end of the game, then it becomes a permanent burden. So I will definitely spend 1 to attach Athelas to Aragorn here. But that does mean I can maybe take an extra couple of hits, because it also fully heals Aragorn as well. So I'll save that towards the end. There's a couple of big hitters still to come. Yeah, I didn't mean to add 1 resource to Athelas, take that off. Then I will play... I don't know if I will play that or not. If I don't use Frodo's resources, then I lose them, effectively. So I might as well use this. And you'll see why in a minute, but that's a little bit of metagaming. So I get to draw 2, and each hero gets +1. So we'll see how many people we send questing. Let me just put that in the event box, so I remember. Why did I take 5? That seems like too many. I might just do it again. In fact, I will just do it again. So there's a double event in the event box there. Draw another 2. Such is life. I will play Song of Travel on Frodo using... I guess I use that, then I spend Frodo's resource to play Sam Gamgee. So now I've got a spirit icon. So I just want to burn through all of Frodo's resources because I'm going to lose them if I don't have them. If I don't use them, is the thing. Now, sneak attack's great. I've got 2 sneak attacks. I just need to find a Gandalf. So I want to play this as soon as I can. But that will have to be next turn once I've got the resources for it. Is there any point putting this onto anybody just now? Has to be a warrior character, not you. You're never going to defend. Not at the moment. Same with this. So I can't attach that to Legolas because he's already got 2 restricted cards. You're not a warrior. So at the moment, none of this does much to me or for me. So I guess we go questing. And I only need to quest by 2, 4. So I don't need that much. So I might as well send Frodo. And remember, of course, he's on +2 at this stage. And then we send... It's only heroes. So we send Sam for 7. There are a couple of 4s in here, so I do need to send 1 more. So we'll send Pippin. So this should be enough to clear anything that comes up. So there's no wargs, gain surge. This guy gets surge anyway. Place 3 damage on the active location. That's going to pump my threat quite a lot. 1, 2, 3. But that's okay. And then we succeed by 9. So this goes away, raise my threat by 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then this is cleared also. So we're now we're at the gates of Moria. So pursued by the evil wargs and fell weather, the company of the ring decides to enter the mines of Moria. They call it a mine, a mine! But as they seek the hidden gate, a foul creature seizes the ring bearer with one of its many groping arms. So now we go to the set aside. Again, this music is not matching the tone. Let me just skip forward a bit, see what happens. So Doors of Durin becomes active, and the Watcher in the Water goes to the staging area. Now considered to be engaged, so that means I've engaged it. So I will get to draw a card at least. Oh, come on, Gandalf, where are you? And then here, discard all tokens from the Ring Bearer and place it, and each card attached to it, face down under Watcher in the Water. So if we just stand up and we'll just flip Frodo there. So no longer does he do anything. And here. So there can be 2 active locations, which is unusual, but of course the quest cards take precedence over the standard game rules. And we must travel if able. And after an enemy engages a player, place 1 damage on each active location. So here I will engage this guy who's currently 45. So I engage him, which means I put 1 damage on here, and I get a draw from that. Let me throw shirt. I can only go on Frodo. Oh, how do I get Frodo back out? Yes, of course. So after placing the 6th damage here, the first player takes control of the Ring Bearer with 1 damage on them. So this is fine. You know what, I should probably old bogey stories, because none of this is doing me much good. I'll do it after, I think. But then both of these are now engaged with me, so you and you. So I can't even Mr. Underhill because I don't have it in hand. So this is going to be painful unless I can do something about it. And the answer to that is I cannot. I should have played this. So I can't actually engage you, so that means you would go back, and that will put you, shuffle you back in the deck, because I can't take the hit is my problem. So here I will defend with Aragorn, who's defending for 3, getting hit for 6. So as long as this isn't a +1 or +2, there anything I can do about that? So I'm defending for 3, I'm getting hit for 4, and I only have 5 health. I can't cancel it. I can't. Ah, sad to fail at the last hurdle here. He's not a warrior, so I couldn't even put things on him to get more hit points. Single sneak attack Gandalf would have been enough. Drop Gandalf, kill the wolf, take the defense, and then clap back for 5, 10. Wouldn't have quite been enough, but well, I guess that's a fail. Now you can of course continue with the game when you lose a hero, but in campaign mode that causes you problems, not least of all because that hero is no longer available. As I was planning on running through the next couple of scenarios with the same kind of setup, I guess we'll just reload and mark his defeat. And we'll try again. Sad. Right, you come down, you go up. Put these in the order I prefer. And you roll to hand. Let me... I might just keep this for the money and then hope to draw it into something good. So there we've got this. Old bogey stories there. Mr. Underhill here. Gandalf's delay, you get shuffled in. Then you're going to get added to my deck. Flip you, and we're ready to go once again. So I don't get this draw because of Gandalf's delay, which means I shuffle it back in. So dragging the cards on the top isn't a problem. Then these come to hand, and I'm going to do 0 planning, which means I get 4 cards. 2, 3, 4. So the risky part, I guess, would be... Ooh, what? Well, this is a sad state of affairs. I need to take feint because that's how I win. I put you into play. I think we just sack off Sam. Shuffle you back into the deck. There's only one of them. Fair enough. So that's that complete. So now we make Redhorn Pass the active. You get shuffled into the deck, and then I reveal until I've got 2 threats worth of stuff. So a region there is fine. Very similar to last time, and also not unthematic in terms of how things are progressing. So now we've got to quest, so just all out quest here. Surge. Ooh, see, so Redhorn Foothill is pretty harsh because it's a 4 threat and it's a bad one when you don't get the progress on it. Yeah, it really slows you down, so I'll have to do something about that next. But get 2 progress, which is something, and then that is the end of the round. So I'm going to play 1, tighten our belts. So going to get 1, going to get 1, going to get 1, going to get 1, and ready up. So now I have to think about whether or not I want to play this, and I think I do. So if I play this using just Frodo's resources, it's going to give me 1/1/1, and that will be enough. Now, questing, I'm not getting through for much, so I need something that's not bad here. Place 3 damage. What's this? Okay, I can live with that. 1, 2, 3. Get another 3 progress, which is just shy, and then I'll ready up again, but this time I'll play a second tighten our belt. So let me just read that to make sure I'm playing it right. Choose a player. Each hero that player controls not spend any resources. Game 1. So that then gives me 1, 1, 1. You spent resources last time, so we are ready to go. So let's have a look at what our options are for playing here. I will heed the dream. So let's look at the top 5. And that will get me... You're no good to me yet, but I do kind of want you. Well, give me the bow, I suppose. Or do I take another feint? Give me the feint. Can live with anything else. Close and shuffle. I'm going to do it again. Here I will take the sword that was broken. Close and shuffle. And then I'll spend 1, 2, 3 to play this. So now everybody gets more questing. Each character you control, which is pretty good. Then I might as well drop a fast hitch on Pippin. And now I just need to decide what else I want to play here. So you are a warrior, but still I'll put this on Legolas. Gets one, oh, wrong button. One extra attack. And do I put this? No, I guess I. Do I put it on Gimli? Let me drink my coffee. Have a think. I think the answer to that is no. Doesn't help me with questing, so let's go. Let's go all out here. So succeeding by 8. Get an enemy. But we finally succeed here. So 6 takes 1 to clear you. Wrong button. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This goes. Yeah, add it to the victory display. Sorry. Then I have to place 3. Damage somewhere. It doesn't all have to be in the same location, so if I put 1 on Frodo, because that effectively becomes none, I'll put 1 on Pippin, because he shouldn't really be attacking or defending, and I'll put 1 on Legolas. Then I must travel. I think I have to go here first of all, then I will. Do I optionally engage you? I kind of want you out of the staging area. It will mean I have to discard 2 cards though. No, it doesn't necessarily mean that. I will engage you, which puts 1 damage on here. You get a shadow card. I will draw a card for Pippin, engaging a higher cost. I'm going to Mr. Underhill, and you're going to not attack me, but I can't attack you back. Ooh, attached to a Hobbit hero. Yeah, why not? I mean, spend 2 here. Give Sting to Pippin. He gets not that. Mostly the quest I'm after here. I do want to clear this as quickly as possible. How much you hit for? 4. Not quite enough to kill it. That's restricted, so I can't even give you this. I think I'll play this. Just put that in the events pile. Get draw. Very nice. I definitely want to keep one of them, so play that. Okay. So each hero you control gets +1. So here we quest, and spend 1 to stand back up, and that gives me another 3. So I should go shooting through this quite quickly. Let's see what we get. Another Region. Looks like Gimli's definitely not surviving, right? So here, it takes 5 to get rid of this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2. Then I have to discard a random card, so choose random. I knew it was going to be a feint after working so hard to get them. Then you're gone, and then I must travel to a location. Then I might as well stand up. So here I will defend with Aragorn, who's defending for 3. Didn't mean to flip that, get a shadow card, flip that. Nothing, so it takes no damage. I can exhaust this to do attack for 4, so that gets 2 damage through. Wrong button. And then Legolas attacks Oh, this should have 1 damage on it for 2, which kills you and places 2 progress here. When Howling Warg attacks, place 1 damage on active location. I could maybe keep Gimli if I fainted that attack. Well, Gimli should have readied anyway when the Warg came out. No, I've got 2 Regions to get through. I just don't think I'll be able to do it. I'll keep the feint for something a little nastier. And then next round, can't remember whether I did this or not, but which heroes did it. So not playing anything this turn. So here we quest, flip, bird. So either exhaust the hero you control or engage them. I will. I'll give him the readies, but he's dead anyway. I will engage them, and then I get another card. So this is fine. Goes on Aragorn here. That gets a 2nd damage for engaging an enemy. It does not have a higher threat level, so I don't get a Pippin. So succeed by 11, which just basically smashes that, gets rid of Gimli, smashes that, and then I have to go and fetch the Great Warg Chief. There he is. Then I must travel. And should I engage you? Not really. So I'm going to let an undefended attack through at this point. I should really engage you though, shouldn't I? Oh, I have no choice. My threat level is over. So I engage you, which means I now have to go and get a... yep, so you come out. Oh, not attached though. So this is a problem. This is a problem. So you can just steal out some shadow cards. And this should also have 2 damage on it. Jeez Louise. I can fast hitch here, but you can't really defend anything anyway because not your jam. So what I need to do is I need some way to sneak attack Gandalf, which means I probably have to old bogey stories here and hope to draw both of them. Well, hold on, I can feint one, but then I wouldn't be able to old bogey stories. If I feint you, I'll let you through. Legolas defends that. Your Legolas is dead anyway. Yep, my only choice. So I will old bogey stories to discard my hand and draw 6. I did get a sneak attack, but I didn't get a Gandalf. I did get a Boromir. Yes, let's do this. So I sneak attack Boromir for the combat phase. Boromir defends against the Hound of Sauron. He's been hit for 4, he's defending for 3. Perfect, he takes 1 damage, which stands him back up. Now, the Warg Chief attacks. Boromir is going to defend that as well. But this will kill him. Attacking enemy makes an additional attack after this one. Well, that's game, isn't it? Kills you. Get another shadow card. I can't really... I mean, nothing... There's no defenders that can protect me here. If I'd spent the 1 to stand Aragorn, I'd have at least a fighting chance. But I did have the tightener belts. Right, one last try. Reload, mark his defeat. Sad, innit? Alright, alright. Is this my opening hand? Yeah, I'll keep that, I suppose. No, I won't. I'll mulligan that. Not much better or much worse. Obogi Stories. Keep you. You get dragged in. Mr. Underhill. You get put in here. Right, one last try. You get shuffled away. And you're come to hand. So let's go fish. Look at top 5. I want. What's better to take, Sneak Attack or Gandalf? Let's take Gandalf because I can always hard cast him if it comes to it. Then I'll spend 3 to boost Aragorn stats. And then, but I might as well flip that. I get to look at the top 4. Did I shuffle things back in? Shuffle player deck 1, yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. So take this to hand. I put you. Ah, jeez Louise. What a terrible set of 4 cards to come out. Well, maybe I don't need Feint so much if we have Gandalf's. And I guess I play the Elfstone. Oh no, I can't play the Elfstone because there's no active location yet. This is just. So actually, we lose the Elfstone. Well, then what does that mean I play? That's my choices, right? So if I play Gandalf, I guess I can play Gandalf to draw 3. Put Feint into hand. Elfstone leaves, and this gets shuffled back in. So I use, so let's shuffle you, and then I will draw 3. Okay. Alright, so that's the end of that. Then you get shuffled into the deck, reveal until 2 threat. Then it is questing time, and here I'm just going to 100% blast through. Surge. Well, that is less black. I feel like I just should start again, to be honest. I'm going to start again. One last try. So I was kind of winning with this deck, at least a couple of times in a row before I decided, oh yeah, I'll film this. This will be worth watching. Turns out it's not particularly worth watching. You go here, you go here, you go into there. He's going. Well, hold on before we do anything like that. Let me just decide if I'm mulliganing or not. Let's mulligan. And then these will go onto here. Shuffle those. We come to hand. The old flippity dippity. I'm not going to play anything because then I can tighten our belts. So new round, I don't get you. Oh, second tighten our belts. Actually shuffle that as well. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, so this goes on here, I guess. This gets discarded, this comes to hand, and this gets shuffled back in. Again, another terrible start here, but let's not worry about it. Then you go, you get shuffled in, draw until there's 2 threat, flip. Damage isn't so bad, I suppose. Right, questing time, baby. So what do I need to kill you? 6. So that'd be both of yous. So if I quest, but then who's going to defend? me, maybe. So 2 immediately puts my threat up. Engage you, place a damage there. Deal a shadow card, sack off Mr. Underhill so he doesn't get an attack, and then clap back to kill him. Not a strong turn. Get some more resources. Honestly, that first time through felt good. Right, so now if I spend 2 on this, I get +2 questing, which is what I want. I'm going to spend 1 for Sam. Then if I spend 1, 2, 3 for Anduril, get another stat boost there. Then I can play the Elfstone on Redhorn Pass. That'll let me get Boromir out. And yeah, fine. So let's assume there's no combat this turn. Don't know why I would assume that. Fine, succeed by 5, which is not enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Very sad. Pipe, I will play my pipe. Because that will then let me exhaust this to put you on the bottom of my deck. Owner's deck bottom. And draw a card. Then I can fast hitch onto here. And then full on questing again because it's not got any easier since last time. Each player must either discard or raise his threat by 1, so I'll raise my threat. Succeed by 5, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can clear the U. I have to do 1 damage somewhere. I'll put it on Frodo. Then I can play Boromir. Then I must travel somewhere, so that is a region, even though this place is marginally worse. Ready up. So yes, I will spend you to draw 2 cards and get an extra. So every hero, each hero you control. 1, 2, 3, 4. So now I think I saved Mary for next time. What do I need? I need 9. I've got to get through 4, so just quest everybody. 1, 2, 3, 4. Did I already put 4 up? Let me do the math on that one. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I already put 4 on it. Yeah, should be fine, right? Let's see what we get. Place 3 damage. No! That's the end of Boromir and Sam again. It's such a punishing, bloody quest. Nope, not taking it. Give me another one. Surge. Attach the active location. No more than 3 can be placed in it per time. Alright, so 1, 2, 3. Fine. Excess does not carry over. Let's go again. Now we will look at top 5. Take you. Play you. 1, 2, 3. I get +1. But so does everybody else. Don't need to play Gandalf here. So we'll go back into questing. So questing for 11, should be alright. Warg Chief, okay, fine. Might as well keep you out. Although, not sure how that works, but fine. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So you're gone. And you're gone. And then each player starts discarding it as the staging areas. 1 must be if able. Okay, so if I get is it add it to the staging area? It is add it. So give me you. And we travel there. So this doesn't count because it's not after it's added to the staging area, it's already been added to the staging area. Close and shuffle. So I am prepared for a little bit of combat this turn. What if we... So if you defend... What's damage on this do? Discard cards. Don't like that much either. Well, I can only optionally engage one, and you're definitely coming down. So do I just defend one this turn? And I guess the answer to that is yes, because otherwise I can't do much. So you come down, your threat's not higher, so that doesn't count. Get a shadow card, defend. Well, Boromir's only defending for one, so he'll die. Faint it. And then we attack for 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Which only does 4. Annoying. But we're still alive. Yeah, definitely play Legolas's Bow here. Don't have a second resource to play Merry. I will spend 1, 2 on this. Get to draw 2. Can't afford you. Can't really afford 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Play Gandalf. Gandalf does 4 damage, which is probably best against you. Should we just clear you? So Gandalf stays standing to defend. Which means we can go questing, 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 questing. How much do I need? 3, 4, 5. You do 3. Oh, wrong button. 4, 5. So you can quest as well. That's fine. 15. So 5 clears you. You know damage on you? You just enter place. You get damage. It's 5, so get 10 on there. And then must travel. Gandalf defends. Doesn't matter. We'll be going in a minute, and then I'll stand you back up for the double attack for 5. So let's put 2 progress on here. Gandalf goes away. Next round. Definitely drop one of these on Legolas. Can afford Merry now, so that puts their questing up by, well, puts all the questing up by 1 for a turn. I could also play Gandalf, which I will, and that's costing me everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So now we quest, 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 and I get +3 on that. So yeah, you have to quest. Anybody? I'm not going to quest with Boromir. I'm going to keep him up for attacking. So it's seen by 14, and I only need 2, 4. Can I keep anybody else standing? Let me just check I've done that right. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Where am I getting my other one? Oh yeah, because I'm no longer questing with Boromir. Do I want to... The most I can get is 4. So 4. There's Surge though. So let's say the most I can get is 6. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I could quest for 3 fewer. So what if I don't quest? Oh, Merry's got no attack. So 9. I'm gonna risk it. Be very sad if Surge comes up. No, so that's 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll have to raise my threat by 1 for clearing this. Then you're done. So now the Doors of Durin is the active location, but so is Redhorn Foothills. Or it will be because I'm forced to attack. This comes in, I get a card draw because it is a higher engagement level. just do that. And then... So now I have to travel to Redhorn Foothills because I should have a damage on it as well, right? For the low... What do I want to look at? The shared quest discard. After a location enters play, put a damage on it, yeah. So that came into play when it was active. So, you get a shadow card, but Gandalf's going to block it. You're now flippity-dippity. So we flip you, nothing. Gandalf survives, but only for a turn. Oh, I shouldn't have must discard X cards. So there was 1 damage on there. So let's also choose a random card. Well, I can't play it just now anyway. Fine, attacking. So we're going to attack for 3, 4, 5, 9, 14. So that does 9. Which gives us Frodo back with 1 damage on him. So, perfect. Perfect. Oh, I've been questing wrong. Aragorn gives everybody +1, so Merry should have had an extra 1. Which would have... Oh, not you. Should have had an extra 1. Gandalf goes. And new round. So actually, yeah, I would have been fine, whatever we did it. I could sneak attack Gimli out. Not sure that would help necessarily. But all I really need to do is put out 5, 14... 14 plus 5, 19, and let's say another 5. If I can do 20 quest, show me what 20 quest would look like. That's 17. I could do 20 quest. So during the quest phase, I will... Oh man, this is nutso. So I'm going to sneak attack Gimli out during the quest phase, put Gimli in. He gets 1 extra for the sword that was broken. So I'm doing 20. Must deal X. Fine. I'll put them Boromir, stand them up just in case. Surge. 2. So I'm doing 18. I think that's enough. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I must discard that. No problem. So it's 5. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Done. So that is as grumbling as I was about that. That is kind of how quickly you can turn things around. Yeah, that was the game. I forgot I had the pipe as well. I could have gone fishing a little better with the pipe to cycle through cards, but forgot. Oh well, at least we got a win. Could have been worse, right? Could have been loss after loss after loss. But this deck can at least compete. You kind of see how difficult it is with all the effects that happen. It's very punishing for ally decks. It's very punishing for even cards in hand. If you're playing this multiplayer, I think it's probably a lot worse as well. You're seeing a lot more cards come out at any given time, so I'm not 100% sure what the best way through is, but it was nonetheless a good puzzle to kind of figure out. I knew I needed a lot of kind of defending. I need to be able to hit hard, and I need to be able to defend, and I need to be able to quest hard, and I need to deal with all the location effects. So I think this is only rated something like a 6.5 or a 7 in terms of difficulty, because it is very possible, but I do feel like it can be a lot worse than that, and I guess that's the nature of card games, you know, depending on what comes up, things can get a lot worse. Let me just check there's nothing that says you can only do something. No. Right, well, let's have a look at the end of the quest. So if I flip here, if Lust for the Ring is attached to a hero, it's not. That's what Athlas is for as well. But they were just in time. Sam and Frodo were only a few steps up, and Gandalf had just begun to climb, when the groping tentacles writhed across the narrow shore and fingered the cliff walls and the doors. One came wriggling over the threshold, glistening in the starlight. Gandalf turned and paused. If he was considering what word would close the gate again from within, there was no need. Many coiling arms seized the door on either side, and with horrible strength swung them round. With a shattering echo they slammed, and all light was lost. So now we must go through Moria. As we all know, there are things that slumber in the dark, which we'll deal with in the next scenario, next stage of the campaign. So until next time, this is Rings Check signing off.